No intro, guys. We're going to get straight to the topic of the video here. So, as you guys heard a few hours ago, the news came out that Darth Vader and Mufasa himself, James Earl Jones, has passed away at the age of 93. So, yeah, this is shocking, but the long life that he lived, it was soon to be expected. But, wow, it's hard for me to take in a little bit, because obviously I've known about James Earl Jones and his work throughout my childhood as Mufasa in The Lion King. As a little kid, The Lion King was one of the Disney animated films I have always watched, because it was so good. It was so fun and entertaining, and obviously at the end of the day, as always, James Earl Jones' performance as Mufasa was phenomenal. It was iconic at this day. Then, even though years later, until The Force Awakens came out, that got me into watching Star Wars for the first time ever. And at that point, I became a Star Wars fan and loved the prequels, the original trilogy, and obviously listening to James Earl Jones' voice as Darth Vader. Also, iconic. Phenomenal and iconic in every way, and played one of the greatest Star Wars villains of all time. And by all means, I still will say this at the end of the day, that Mufasa and Darth Vader, voice-wise, will never be... James Earl Jones will never be replaced for those roles. In everyone's minds, including mine. There, of course, are good impersonator actors who do pretty good with those voices, but the real voice will always remain to be James Earl Jones. I didn't hear about this until I was on the Discord server of Chaos Media Entertainment, the creators of Transformers Downfall, the Downfallverse. The creator of that studio posted about the news, and that's how I heard about it. And that was news that I was not expecting at all. But everything has been so quiet with the actor of James Earl Jones, and nobody knew where he was right now. Nobody knew if there was anything wrong with him, although we know that his last role, of course, was the live-action Lion King and Coming to America 2 from Amazon Prime. Those were the last roles that we've seen James Earl Jones be a part of, and those two, for his appearances and roles, still was good. His cameo in the Coming to America sequel, as much as I wasn't the biggest fan of that sequel, his cameo was actually pretty funny. I will say 100%. It was funny and goofy. Like, this is gonna be so hard to think about almost every day, dude, because to the family of James Earl Jones and friends of James Earl Jones, I'm very sorry for your loss. This is heartbreaking. It is. You know, it's his role as Mufasa. At this day, will always be one of the greatest parts of Lion King as a story in general. A wise king talking to his son about understanding the balance of the circle of life, how iconic that line is, and then leading up to the remember who you are. It's inspirational at the end of the day, and knowing that the exact actor of Mufasa and Darth Vader passing away at the age of 93. Yeah, it's hard to sink in for me. It is. This is insane. But at the end of the day, James Earl Jones is in a better place. He can now see his wife. And even better, he can see Carrie Fisher. At the end of the day, that's the good thing. He's in a better place. And he lived a good life. And he inspired so many people around the generation. He's gave two of the most iconic roles. Gave his acting the best acting in almost every movie of all time. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him every day. Thank you, James Earl Jones, for giving us the iconic role of not just Mufasa, but Darth Vader as well. Thank you for giving us your most iconic roles. And may you rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Well, that's all I gotta say for today's video. But this is my video where I express my thoughts on the passing of James Earl Jones. An absolute legend. Thank you. And may you rest in peace. Have a good day, everyone. The Mac Tech, signing out. Have a good day.